What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today is the NFL trade deadline at 4 p.m. Teams can no longer make trades, so what I want to go through is the New York Jets' final trade rumors and predictions and talk about who I think can and will be traded. This is just my thoughts and my feelings on what I think we can expect today. You let me know in the comments how you feel about the NFL trade deadline and if this player will stay or go. And I'll go through each one of the kind of big names who are on the market right now. Breece Hall is the guy I think we've talked about the absolute most. Is he going to stay? Is he going to be traded? My final prediction, I'm going to say Breece Hall stays. I think if you asked me this question 2 weeks ago, I might have had a different answer. But I think the tides have kind of turned on that one. And I think, especially with the Braylon Allen injury, I don't think the Jets are going to want to go on offense with just Isaiah Davis and Khalil Herbert as their two running backs. Kene Nwanu's also banged up and is always injured, so I don't think that one makes a whole lot of sense. Breece Hall, they're looking for a third-round pick. That's kind of the latest report on what it is that they're looking for. And I don't imagine they end up getting that, and I think he ends up staying. Now, does he sign a contract extension? TBD. I don't think it's anything that happens right now, but my feeling at this moment is that Breece Hall will not be traded today. Germaine Johnson's up next. Now, the Jets told Germaine Johnson, and Germaine Johnson told the Jets that he wants to stay. The Jets want to build around Germaine Johnson. I think that's a good decision. They're apparently looking for a second-round pick for him. Could a team give up a second? Yeah, I think that's something I could see a team doing. I don't know if the Jets trade him, though. My prediction is going to be stay for Germaine. I think they stand by their word. He's a leader on that defense. He's their best all-around edge player. Edge is a position of weakness on this Jets defense. They don't have a ton of depth at the position. I don't see them moving on from him. He's got another year on his contract. They could figure out maybe next year what they want to do with him, but I don't think that's an issue that they want to deal with right now, right? Like there's really no reason except for getting more draft capital, obviously, if that's something they're willing to do. But for Germaine, I think that's someone that they want to build around. I think he stays. Think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day to payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players with more stats than any other daily fantasy app. Just choose two or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from their predicted stats, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money if your picks win. Use my promo code O'Leary, and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. They also have a new offer right now, a free $20 no deposit required promo. Terms and conditions apply. I'm going to say the same thing for Quinnen Williams. I don't think a team offers a first round pick for him. And honestly, I'd be wanting a first plus for Quinnen Williams. And I just don't think anyone's going to do that. I think he's another guy who, yes, is a little bit older, but on the interior defensive line, those guys usually play well into their, early to mid 30s. And I think he has 4 or 5 good years left. He's been by far their best run defender. He's a good player. I think some people get a little bit too tied up with the sack numbers and don't really see the production because they're just looking for sacks. And I think there's really more to the position than just that. And yeah, I would like to see that number increase as the year goes on. That is 100% fair, but he's a top 5 player at his position. And I don't want to sell low on a guy like Quinnen Williams. If you're getting offered a second round pick for Quinnen, I think you'd be selling low. And I just don't think that's something that I'd be willing to do right now. So I think Quinnen Williams also stays. His brother Quincy's an interesting one. I'm kind of on the fence with Quincy if he gets dealt or not, but I think I'm going to predict a trade for Quincy, and a few reasons. Number one, they made their decision by paying Jamie Sherwood this past offseason. Quincy Williams was going into the final year of his contract. He's approaching 30 years old at this point. Are they going to sign a linebacker after signing a linebacker to big money this past offseason? I get it. Sherwood hasn't necessarily worked out and hasn't played very well this year. Just feel like they made their bed. I think a trade to San Francisco makes a ton of sense. He had a ton of success with Robert Saleh when Saleh was here with the Jets. They have issues at linebacker right now, especially after the Fred Warner injury. They are just a banged up team in general. They could use edge help, and I think if Germaine Johnson was to get traded, I could see San Francisco being a team that's in the mix, but I think the Jets would be more willing to let Quincy Williams go in a trade. The 49ers have 4 fourth-round picks. I think you could be looking at like Quincy in a 6th for a 4th, something like that. Quincy on his own is probably like a 5th-round pick value, and with the Jets tossing in a sweetener and San Francisco having a crap ton of 4th-round picks, I would not be surprised to see them accept a trade like that to acquire a player that's going to help move the needle forward as they're competing for a championship this year. Michael Clemens' name has come up, and I just don't see any team really offering anything for him. I'm not saying that I want to trade. I don't want to trade Michael Clemens. I just don't think you're going to get any sort of offer for him. If you do, okay, do it, I guess. But he's not a player that I really anticipate getting an offer unless Saleh loves the guy and it's like, hey, I'll give you a pick swap in 2027. And then the Jets go, okay, fine. I just don't think that's crazy likely. I think he probably is going to stay. Will McDonald, I think, is staying. I don't want to accept a 3rd-round pick for Will McDonald. I think, coming off a 10-sack season a year ago, he's a good pass rusher. The Jets are really weak at that position. I don't think it makes sense with the amount of control he has on his contract to move off of him right now at this point. The last name that's been brought up a little bit is Allen Lazard, and I'm going to say he gets traded. The obvious connection is Pittsburgh. They are looking for a wide receiver. He's played his best football in his career with Aaron Rodgers. 2027 7th. I don't think it's a pick this year. Maybe it's a pick swap in 2027. You're not getting a lot, but I just don't think it does the Jets any good to play Allen Lazard. Number one, he hasn't been very good this year, but on top of that, I want to see the younger players. Like Lazard's not going to be here next year. It doesn't really do anything to have him play. One, because he's not good, and two, because he has no future on this team. John Mechie may have a future. Arian Smith should have a future. Tyler Johnson, younger player, I know he's only on a 1-year deal, may have a future as a depth piece on this team. I'd rather get a look at those guys than I would watching an Allen Lazard drop or an Allen Lazard pre-snap penalty in a lost season. It just doesn't really make any sense. So for me, I think Quincy Williams and Allen Lazard are traded. Quincy being the bigger name guy or the biggest name guy that gets dealt. If you're looking for, the Jets to go complete fire sale, I don't know if they do that. We'll see. I'll have a reaction after the 4:00 trade deadline comes through, but I just wanted to come on this morning and share my thoughts right now going into the final day that the NFL has trade. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe here if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.